Hello and welcome. Okay, I have a question. Who here is the first time in this meetup? Oh, welcome, welcome. So all people around you, they are really friendly, and we really try to keep this code of conduct to be welcome to the people and friendly as well. And today we have a different than usual. Today will be a hands-on workshop. So if you never see me, so if this is your first time, my name is Thiago. I'm one of the hosts and co-organizers of the KSUG, and we are already on 48 meetup here in Australia. Since we opened the branch in Sydney, this number is getting double every month, like it is adding to. Let me pass here. So a bit of our numbers. This is the 48 meetup here, so it's almost like 1.5 month, and we have in signature. We are more than 30,000 around the world. We have the open branches in Australia, Melbourne, Sydney, Singapore is where we will start. Then we have in UK, India, Canada, and recently I believe we opened in Philippines, and the newest one will be in Germany. So no matter where you are in the world.
Do you know how to switch off the music in there?
Oh yeah. Let me just.
Is it that music in other?
Okay, yeah. I like the music. Give a little, like, if I keep silence, it's too quiet. But okay, no worries. Let's start then. So please, follow us in this here. If you're not following us in LinkedIn on the Meetup page, please follow us. We always posting something interesting, and we will be always up to date. If you have been joining this meetup before, you know that our name before was KHS, and then we changed to KSUG.AI. Yeah, because of AI, we put AI in our name. But let's go. So let me acknowledge the country. We pay respect for the past, present, and the future. Let's say the natives from this country, the Kulin Nation people. And we want to just acknowledge, because I'm not sure if you hear the news. Last weekend was a bit awful about protest. And that people protest about Australia, they are not the native Australian, right? They are just not like, but I don't want to be too political here. Let's just acknowledge the country, okay? We have, I don't call me nerd, please don't call me nerd. We are awesome, and we have a lot of people all around the world. As I was mentioning, we are in the APAC, we are in the Americas. This is just about of the numbers, and I believe we are just about 3 years that we as a group exist, and we are keeping giving power to the community and enable people to learn. Our legacy is to really how to say, learn is faster, learn is smarter, and get certified cheaper. So this is our link tree. If you go to this link tree, you see all the links that we have. We always sharing coupon for discounts in certifications. We are sometimes partners here of AWS. We are partners of Google. Sometimes we go in Azure as well. And all the clouds also, Yonka is popular with Alibaba Cloud, also with Akamai, and we always sharing. So we are really proud of all the network partnership that we are doing. Please follow us and use these links, because one, you will get the best all-around benefits. What is this one? Yeah, so this is the latest, I believe, the latest discounts. So we have here 2 blue jackets. I'm not sure if you've heard about these blue jackets right now. It's called the Kubernetes Astronaut program, and it is from the CNSF. It's related to Kubernetes. Our Organisers is as a Kubernetes user group. And if you have all the 5 certifications, you can get the Kubernetes Astronaut. The new one, that it is the golden Kubernetes Astronaut, is if you get the 13 certifications. Yeah, you can get this too. It's but this is the coupons for get discounts for the certifications. Go for it. I believe one of our attendees just passed the KCA, right? KCA? Was the KCA? KCA, right? Yeah. So use this, you learn, and also we are really partner with Code Cloud. If you never heard about Code Cloud, they are just the best place that you can learn about cloud and technologies. Okay, we are taking photos and we're sharing in this folder. So if you please taking photos of today and we'll share in your social medias, please tag us. Again, don't delete the photo, not just because you can, you should. But yeah, what else? We have the agenda for today. Okay. Who have heard about agents here? Who come here without knowing about agents? Okay, good, good. So today we're gonna talk about agents using a really, really popular and powerful tool called Docker. Okay, who is have heard about Docker before? Okay, who never heard about Docker before? Okay, yeah, so Docker and agent, everybody know about it. So today we're gonna do a hands-on with our Docker captain, Jorge Arteiro. And the most recent Docker captain, I myself. Thank you, thank you. I just became a Docker captain yesterday. Was a really interesting journey to become a Docker captain, and I will be joining the Docker Captain Summit in Istanbul, Turkey, by the end of October. So my goal is really to share knowledge and get to know how you're gonna use these tools. So for you that it is the first time you are here, we, in the end of the event, almost close to the end, we run a quiz. Will be about 10 questions related to this workshop, related to what the content we are doing. And if you get the quiz correctly and quickly, because you need to be fast to respond, also get points, you can get some prizes. And we have a really nice prize. We have, I believe, three vouchers. Subscriptions. We have 3 subscriptions from Code Cloud of 6 months that worth around the $300 US dollars. So it's a lot of money, but not just that. We still maybe have vouchers. Yes. Okay. Yeah, today is just these vouchers, but yeah. So pay attention. Later we'll have the quiz. I will invite you to. So this is our mission, as I was telling you. This is learning faster, get certified smarter, and go stronger. So without further ado, we need access to internet. I hope I wrote there. I'm not sure if it is in any slides in here about the internet. No. Oh, thank you for our volunteers. We need to update this. There are new volunteers that are joining. And if you want to volunteer, we always need more hands to do this work. So without the volunteers, we cannot run this event. And without the sponsors, we cannot have neither the place or the food that we eat for here. So thank you for all the volunteers. This is our sponsors for this event. Code Cloud always our main sponsor. The event sponsor here for the location is AWS, and Docker is our sponsor for the foods and drinks. Yeah, so if you check, this is program that Yonka has launched, the astronaut. Yeah, the astronaut is if you are a Cube astronaut and you are a golden jacket AWS. So it is a lot of certifications, but you will be highlighted in our website. And as you can see, we have already all around the globe that is supporting this. It's the first really community-centered create program. And this is the Kube Strongs as well. It's the biggest community and keeping growing. Yeah, if you get a golden jacket, we get this button here. I don't think it's worth, but for the knowledge, it's worth for sure. Yeah, share the joy. So I believe this is, yeah, this one we have the free vouchers as well. You can run this online, right? So if you didn't get the quiz today or it's okay. You have another chance to get it on 23. And we are always doing this, right? We already have 39 luck winners. So share this, get to know more about the Code Cloud, the events. Yeah, $250. I thought 300, but it's 250. Still a lot of money because it's USD. It's not AUD. Okay, so this is the promotion we had today. Join the Code Cloud. If you already got the subscription, we sometimes cannot give twice, so you may need to join, but you still can get with discount. This is still, I believe, is the same QR code for both, right, Yonka? Oh. It's the same, right? Yeah. So no matter which QR code you are getting, you are going to our Linktree that has all the links. Yeah, we decided to put the same because it's quite confusing having 3 QR codes. But yeah, here you can become a sponsor. If you have an idea to give a talk, we are looking for people to speak into this community. As you can see, we have a really nice and friendly community coming to talk with us and present your topic. And if you want to become a volunteer, and also if you want to sponsor this group, we always need more sponsors. And more links, that it is the same still. It's the same, but yeah, we are all around, okay? If you didn't find us in LinkedIn, we will find us in Telegram, WhatsApp, and the newsletter right now. Why we are not in the WeChat? Okay, let's start. George is with you. So please, anyone has already access to internet? Okay, let me just get some things before we start. So this is a hands-on workshop. It's for people who has a bit of knowledge on coding. I expected that you are okay dealing with the command lines, VS Code. Should be fine because we're gonna be using this. Second, you need to install Docker, and I hope you install Docker because without it, we cannot do much. So Docker, you can install both either that Docker desktop or just Docker CLI as well. We're gonna use a Docker and Docker Compose. Okay. Yeah. Let me.
You can see that he's missing this picture.
Yeah,
It's not just myself presenting.
Because he's the star. He's the star. So
He was all my emails.
um,
Thanks, Thiago. Thanks a lot, everyone, for coming. And
let me.
we are at Amazon. I'm from Microsoft myself, so thanks. But I'm here as a Docker captain to talk about like what you can discuss, and if you have questions, probably will be more interactive than just try to teach you something that you can learn on YouTube. But I think the questions are more important, the discussion are more important than just I come here and show something for you. So if anyone here worked with cloud native, Kubernetes, containers, or wants to go for that, space, if it wasn't for Docker, think, yeah, I mean, so the point here, Tiago, is how can we make sure that until we figure out how AI is going to integrate properly with this, 50 years of coding. I don't know how many years they have coded, maybe more than 50, and then all that coding that's in there, do you think we're going to rewrite everything in agents from scratch? I don't think so. Then the agents now become easier to write. And for some reason, there is no coding anymore on the agents. If they're removing the coding, you can see that how many lines of code you have here on the demo.
I believe less than 100.
Less than 100 lines of code. So that means that, a lot of people can buy that. And most of the lines of code, they're just calling like a function, passing properties, passing, text as a parameter for the AI to figure out the things. So before we start, the most important thing to understand is, who's a developer here? Who's a developer? Because I noticed that most people don't understand the basics of AI, is that the large language model with now what we call MCP, Model Context Protocol, let's say that MCP is an API, it's not, okay? But let's say that's API. What we're changing now is we're making those large language models like OpenAI or this Gemini, all the models to.
Can I get just a moment?
You're trying to fix it?
Yeah, no, just a moment. So just because we have time too, and we need to download some models to run. So
Start downloading.
Start downloading the model will be good. So have you installed Docker already? No.
Docker Desktop.
Docker Desktop.
If you want to do the lab, you don't have to do it. Like you can.
Yeah, you don't need. Yeah, you can just follow. But yeah, if you have the Docker, you need to download the model. So let me just jump here
On the download
to the repos. So we have different because not everyone maybe is the same pace. We have more simple and a little more advanced ones to do. So you can select both. So we have the agents on Docker. This one will be using the Strands SDK, and it is a bit simple. This second one here is the Compose for agents, and here we have around 8 different frameworks for AI. The AI agents that we can be doing too. I believe the most simple to start with, that it is just the model run, is this one, is the workshop agent compose. So this is the.
That's more homework. The workshop is going to take longer to download, but you can play. That's the full workshop from Docker.
And I invite you to join these and clone these ones to get this, because to download the model, if you run in your own machine, the small model that we have is the Gamma 3, and I believe it's around 500 megabytes. And here in this one, you have all the notes that we use for creating this and all the research. This is the notebook LM. I really cannot recommend enough to use this tool called Notebook LM. It's from Google, but it's really good. So yeah. So
you wanna show the download exactly that they have to do, or just.
Oh yeah, maybe it's good, right?
Yeah.
Let me grab here. You are doing.
But without Docker installed, they're not going to do anything.
Yeah. You need to install Docker, right?
You need to install Docker Desktop.
Install Docker first. This is the prerequisite number 1. Have a laptop. Second, install Docker. What happens here?
I think the more they have to.
Close one second again.
Share the whole thing.
I'm sharing just that screen. So when you want, you can just leave it there. Okay. Where is the
Oh, no, it's open. It's open. What's that?
Yeah, you
Sure that?
let me,
No, no, no.
I wish I could pull this TV for you.
Is that? Yep,
Easy to see there?
yep. Yeah, that's Docker desktop. If you have that, then is a good start. Yeah, to present like that's very hard, Tiago, but let's yeah. And so
George, do we need to sign in doc? We don't need.
no, you don't need to be signing here.
You don't-
No, to download, no.
To
Don't need
download, yeah.
So once it is.
You can download the model from here. Eh? What's the model, the name? Which one you're going to use?
Is the
Yes.
GM3?
This one here.
Yes,
Yeah.
this one,
I'm going to use that one AI,
1B, is there 1B? Yeah, this one.
this one here. Yeah. So you have to install going models and get this model to run locally. To
Yeah,
be
probably
like-
first and foremost, if you're not seeing this, you need to go to settings.
Yep. That one.
Yeah, if you go to settings, AI.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you have the model running. If you don't enable this, and enable host side TCP as well. Enable that host side TCP.
Yeah,
Yeah, this one will allow you to expose the model and use that in your application.
In the LAN,
yeah, you have to reinstall. That's
in the
why.
LAN, in the local area network.
No,
Yep.
in your host, your just
Yeah,
your
locally.
machine. Just your host machine, not in the LAN.
There are some better.
Of course, if you're exposing your machine, if your machine is in the LAN, if you have
Yeah.
access, it's accessible.
And you have to install also on the beta features, you have to install Docker MCP toolkits. If you want, we're not going to use, but it'll be important
Yeah.
for something I'm going to show
Yes.
here. And Docker.AI is what they call Gordon. It's just like a Docker.AI on the Docker desktop itself. Then go back.
Yeah. It was just mini.
Hmm?
Yeah. Yeah. This is not, this is
Then go for the slide.
Oh, yeah, let's go to slides then. We should go back.
Okay.
So, you want to start with this one?
Yeah.
What's Docker?
Yeah. So I was saying that Docker was important. Why? Because before, we have virtual machines and you want to replicate your environment, you have to get these 50 gigabytes machines where you have the operating system and you isolate. With Docker containers now, you can have like in megabytes. You can use the same kernel of the host of your machine. Let's say I'm using here a Windows subsystem for Linux or Windows, but it could be a Linux machine or a Mac. And we kind of share the kernel and we isolate the workload, the applications using, operating system Linux kernel features. And also on Windows, there are kernel features on Windows to run Windows containers the same way. So that's why I have Linux and Windows containers. And after a few years, they create something called, Hyper-V containers or, any virtualization technology where they isolate even more your workload with a virtualization that's normally like hardware-based. So that's containers in a nutshell, but how that comes to, to AI now. With AI, we have to run these agents. They are very lightweight. Normally, they also we have to run those MCP servers. That's different from, like an API that we normally use HTTP or something, using different protocols. You can use HTTP as well, but using different protocols to talk with this MCP server. That we can say that's API, but it's like a functionality that you're creating now for the AI. That's what I was talking before, Tiago, stopped to show that the most important thing, in my opinion, to understand is to understand that we don't talk with those MCP servers normally directly. We can, but it's the large language model that's going to talk with those MCP servers. That's the most important thing, because we think that is API. That's why it's not API. Because API, I have to know how to call that API. There's API to create a new client on my database. I can call that API with like a JSON file with the details of the client, and they're going to the database. That's a simple API call. With MCP servers with agents going to talk with these MCP servers, we don't do that anymore. We just say for the model, we talk with the model, with the AI, and we say, we want to create a new customer, a new client on my application, and that's the data that we have. That could be already in context. Imagine that's a help desk application. They have all the details of the customer there. And the application, that's the agent. The agent's pretty much the application now could be getting this information and create all the client information. We're using now what we call MCP servers and not APIs. But we don't call that. We just tell them that we want to create that information. And how that magic works. The magic work is if they, on that MCP server, let's say that's kind of API, they need like the name, mobile number, address. If they cannot find, they're going to ask you for that information. They say, I don't have it. I need that. Means that the context, the prompts that you write there is missing something. So I'm missing that information. But if the information is there, that magic is going to happen. You don't have to write a line of code. AI is going to do that. Okay, if that's safe or not, I'm talking about how the technology works. If you're going to judge by yourself if it's safe right now or not, or how long does it take to be 100% safe to work like that. But that's where AI and agents are heading to be replacing this kind of interaction. So on Docker, what I'm going to show here is that Docker Compose, that's they call using a YAML file, is, from the beginning of Docker was to run like a single, let's say, virtual machine isolation of your application. And Compose was to run the whole solution, front end, back end, database, all the microservices that you have on your application. You could define on that Compose file, and that will run the whole application. So the magic of Docker Compose up, that's the command, was bang, your whole application was up. But now, Thiago, what's happening with AI? You can define inside the Compose also the model that you want to run, because the model now is part of your application. And the model could be running, on the cloud. Docker has a service called Docker Offload.
Yeah, the recently is Docker Offload that sometimes most of us mortals don't have a GPU 8100 available in your laptop. And then Docker has launched this, because what happens, probably if you are a developer, you had that situation, right? You are running your machine and sometimes your application, especially if you are running like a Java application, needs a lot of memory, and maybe your machine don't have all of this. But with Docker Offload, you can offload that and run your containers in the cloud, but access it in your machine. So you have this kind of hybrid environment. Right now, you can only switch to go either to the cloud or in your computer, but they are working in the roadmap to have some part of the Docker Compose going to the cloud and another running in your machine. So this is still in private beta, so you need to sign in to get access. I really recommend you to try. They are giving 300 minutes of GPU, I believe, for using that. Or not just GPU, just the cloud.
Yeah, I think they give you, that's the idea, I think it was 300. But the thing is, for many years you have Docker Compose, the Compose file. There are a few servers on even on AWS or all the big clouds on Microsoft that can just get the Compose file and run. Okay, you can run your front end, back end, the whole solution there. There's a few solutions that you can do that. But now they got this composite file and they said, let's put like model and also MCP servers. So not just a model. When you run a thing, they're going to run the model. That's what Thiago is going to show here, working on that repository that Thiago forgot.
Yes,
A compose file that includes like a local model, that one that he asked you to download. Okay. 100 lines of code in Python, that's agents. That's just passing, prompts and talk with AI. And also the compose includes MCP to get information from the internet. So that's a simple example. And so now compose not just, your application with AI. It's going to include MCP server. It's going to include model as well. And there's one thing I think on the first slide that Thiago was showing that's called Docker MCP Gateway. Who heard about that? The toolkit and gateway is kind of the same thing. Docker MCP Gateway is a way to get all your MCP servers, those tools. MCP server, we probably know tools if you're using Copilot or an AI. The tools are the MCP server. Okay? That's normally what we use from the MCP servers, but MCP servers more than just the tools. So, like Visual Studio, if you have Copilot or any AI there, you can get MCP servers and have tools, like GitHub tools. You can talk with GitHub, you can talk with the internet. Those things are now inside the compose file. And then what you have to understand is that, what do you want to show? You have that already?
I have
Okay.
I have here. It's just that people,
Oh, yeah, that's good.
if you go to the notebook LM, so this is the tool that I was telling you. All the notes you're gonna be here.
Yeah.
And this has this mind map. And
Yeah.
what we are talking about is some key components in Docker for AI.
Yeah. Yeah.
The Docker model run is the basic one that we are talking, but right now I have the MCP gateway. So what happens with MCP?
That's what I was talking about.
Exactly. Have you tried MCP yourself? No.
The tools,
Anyone?
Copilot tools
Yeah.
there.
If you need to go there and you have to set up that, it is a JSON usually, mcp.json, settings.json, and you give the commands and then the environments, and you need to set that for each of your MCP client, right? And that is a bit annoying because it is just a file, a JSON file, and you are putting your R credentials if you access some database or if you have an API key that you need to put in there. And this is a concern for security. And the MCP gateway is a gateway that will be a layer before your MCP that you can set that inside Docker. And then you just needed to give access to the MCP gateway. And inside the MCP gateway in your Docker Compose, you can select if you want to give access to some tools, all tools, and have some security. Yes, this is the and you have some settings that you can do both authentications and filter using Docker secrets to securely store your credentials like the API keys. So there is no
That one there.
Yeah.
The secret to access Docker Hub, that's a repository.
Yes.
From the MCP2, from the AI.
Yeah. So this is really, really powerful because it's a big concern when you are making your MCP available for your agents to use, especially if your agents is not there. And another thing that happens with me, especially when I'm spinning like 2 or 3 instances of agents, you have 3 or 4 instances of the MCP server running your machine. And that's also getting a lot of memory, right? But with Docker MCP gateway, what it does is it only activates that tool, the server, during the call. So it will spin up another container inside the Docker just to fulfill that call for that tool. So you don't need to keep running your server to use the MCPs. This is another great functionality.
And they have a catalog there on that MCP toolkit.
Yeah.
So you can install your MCP servers there, do all the credentials in one place, and you can use anywhere. You can use on Visual Studio Code, you can use any other tool that you use in Cloud or whatever.
MCP is a technology, just to give a bit of history if you're not aware. MCP was launched by Anthropic in November last year. So it was a proposal of a protocol to standardize how to let LLMs using tools. Before that, we needed to implement ourselves how we're gonna call tools, because the LLM couldn't get that, right? What the LLM does, it understands our natural language and take the intent, and from the intent, make a call to a tool. But this was not standardized, and then different models and different implementations was making difficult to create these standards. And now we have this standard that it is a protocol that it is evolving. Until recently, we didn't have the HTTP transport and some other layers, but they are also improving. And what got me excited is that not just Anthropic and what is it called? Anthropic, the name of the model? I forgot, but they are not just
The sonnets,
Not-
the
yeah,
sonnets.
Anthropic is not just the Anthropic model that can use MCP. Any model can use that MCP. So the idea is basically you give a description of the tool, how to call the tool, and you give that to the LLM to decide. And
Even Kubernetes are here, like like you have MCP for Kubernetes, or Azure Kubernetes Service, or AWS as well here, and so that's a huge catalog where you can just pick whatever you want, and now you can develop application or integrate with your clients, like with CAS, like I don't know which IDE you are using, Casa, VS Code, Claude, so on. Visual Code, and once you connect, you have access to all that service. So, but don't forget what I said before. Like you don't call those things when you're using those tools, or even you write agents. You normally make the LLM, talk to them, find out what they needed. If you ask about Wikipedia, can you find something on the internet? Maybe they're using Wikipedia to find something. Just example, but your example will be search the internet.
Yes. So who already downloaded a model or the repo already?
You made it?
Anyone already got that point? Let me switch maybe to my maybe.
Excuse me, just a question.
Yes.
You were showing some agentic thing with crew and everything. This is also part of this tool, in the initial slide. Is there a way of the Docker Compose?
Yeah, he's going to show the demo now
Yeah,
with Docker Compose.
this is in the Docker desktop. So there is three main components here that I want you to make clear that we are showing. We are showing the Docker model run. This is to run the LLM model locally. We have the MCP toolkit and the MCP gateway that it is also inside both Docker desktop and Docker Compose. And we have the agents. The agent part, right now, Docker don't have our own framework to build the agent. So we can use any agent framework. There are more than 50 frameworks already available to use. You can use the one that you are more comfortable with. But Docker right now has...
That's your code.
This is my code?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is my code. Cool. So can you update this refresh once?
Yep.
You have fork, right? Yeah. This is the version 1. If you go to my, if you go, this is the fork right there. If you need to just.
You gonna go yours?
Yeah.
Okay.
You go to first one.
Uh,
Go to agent on Docker on the top.
There's one.
On the top.
Oh, sorry. That's on mine. That's mine.
Yeah, but that's fine. That's fine. You can
That's
just.
fine.
Here to sync in. Sync the code.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the one that I have built. This one for this, this one, I have used the Struns SDK. The Struns was released by AWS and open source in May. And it is quite easy. The default model that they use is from Bedrock, but we can use, in this case, I'm using
Examples?
example, yeah. So in this example, I have the basic agent. If we go to basic agent, and agent Docker one. Yes, and agent Python. Let's go to the compose first.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
he was asking about the compose.
Yeah, so
file.
this is the compose. So there is a lot of comments here because it's just to explain to you how to use that. It's not just the code, but you can read it by yourself in here later on. But there is not that so many lines. So what we have is the agent. So this is when you call a service, right? When you call a service in a Docker, you usually put database, their backend. In this case, I'm calling is as an agent, okay? And then I'm building the context, and this is just for the building. In this case, it's just a Python application. And then we have a different here that we are passed today that is called model. And this model is just the model that I'm loading down there. But in this case, I'm loading the LLM and passing the LLM endpoints and the model name. We go a little down. This is another thing really good for
Yeah.
So this is another thing really interesting that Docker has made. If you have developed your container before, you have used the Docker build, and then you wait to build all the layers, and then you check if your application is running correct, right? And then you make a change in your code, and what you need to do? Docker build it again, right? So right now, they have launched this called Watch. So you can hot load the changes. So you don't need to rebuild everything. In this case, what we want to rebuild is just the Python application, right? So if I make things, because when you are dealing with agents, what you need to do most of the time is change your prompt. Prompt is, they have the prompt engineering before, but right now we're calling the context engineering. And this is what you need to tweak your agent, right? Sometimes is this prompt work well. You need to do maybe a few shots, give you some examples how to use the tools. So you can use this, let's say this object in the YAML file. It's called watch, and you can put the part of what is the action that you do. So just the agent, after you can do Docker compose build -- watch, and this will build your application, both the model plus the MCP and your agent. And any change that you do in the agent, it will just restart just the agent, not everything. And if you go a little down, sorry, again. Yeah, so here we have the models. So in this case, I'm just loading the model. I'm loading the Gamma tree from Google and give it the contact site. So this one is just the model without any MCP. The tools itself or the agent itself, you can build the tools inside your own agent. You don't need to have MCP for your agent. You can create your own tools and give it the tools for the agent, okay? This is the basic Docker file for agent. So if you ignore all the comments, probably this is just like 10 to 15 lines, okay? Quite nice for building application, agent application.
Yeah, so you're gonna show the other file,
Yeah, so the agent, it's let's go to the agent itself.
to the agent here.
Yeah, agent one.
Python developer.
Yeah. I believe everyone know how to write Python, right? If you know any other language, you can write Python like like you speak Portuguese, you can speak French and Spanish, and it's almost the same thing. So yeah, but this one, I'm using the Struns SDK. You can use any SDK that you want. I'm importing the OpenAI model because how Docker model run works is expose the model using the standards of OpenAI API. So you have all that recompletion, chat completion, embedding. You have all that. So in here, I'm calling this inside the Docker internal, so in the network of Docker. And this is the CPP is the C++ application that is the backbone for doing inference with the AI, with the LLM. So this is the base URL, and we have the model in there, right? You understand, right? I'm just passing as a variable, and I'm doing the question here. And sorry, just let's put back in the top. In the here, I have the strands tool. Sorry, no, that's fine. That's fine. Because I thought about the OpenAI model.
Yep.
And then it's strands tools. So strands has some built-in tools, and one of the tools is called current time. So it gets the current time. So if you ask your LLM, it don't have a watch, right? So it cannot say what time it is. But if you give it a tool for it, it can do the current time. Okay, so here is just the question, what time is it Sydney? And this here is the definition of the model, the agent. And here's just the model. In this case, if I have the OpenAI model, I am testing the OpenAI, otherwise I'm just using the run model local.
What model runner is doing here? What's the job of model runner?
So the job, the model runner is running the Gemma tree. It is running the model, it's doing for the inference, right? So it will load for doing the local inference, so you not send your data to OpenAI in this case. We are just using the OpenAI standard.
The agent's running the model.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry, in this case, yeah, I'm just using the local one. I believe the other one I have set the both. You can change to use
can do
the
it
model, the cloud model. Again, because it is the OpenAI model, I need to pass them into the base URL because it's different than the OpenAI. The model itself, temperature tokens. I'm not getting that different, but here I'm building the agent. So first I set the model, and this is a nice thing about this Trans SDK. In there you saw that I use OpenAI model, right? But you can use different models. You can use Bedrock models. You can use, I believe they call Light LLM. And from Light LLM, you can go to almost any provider. Grok, NVIDIA. Yeah, the sky is the limit. You can go almost to anyone. Of course, if you still need to do your own implementation because some providers are not following the OpenAI standards, you still also can create your own model provider. And then for the agent itself, you pass the model, the tools, and the system prompt. And this system prompt is the thing that I was telling you. You can change this many times because it depends on what model you are using. If there are more parameters, it's not IQ, right? It's parameters. How many more parameters they have, they can interpret this better. So yeah, system prompt, if you are already in AI a little bit, you understand that has the system prompt and the user prompt, everything is prompt, it's just the context for the LLM. When you pass the tool, this tool has a description. And then when you run this, it will get the agent and pass the question, in this case, what is the time incident? And it will call the tool and reply with the time incident using the tool. Yeah. In this case, it's a tool calling without exactly MCP. Yeah. It's not using the MCP protocol.
Just one thing that's important here. The talk today is not about agents because there are so many different frameworks.
Yeah, it's not about frameworks. No,
it's not about AI, agent frameworks. It's about how to use Docker as your local environment to use those frameworks. This code here could be done in any framework that you are using already. LangChain, or whatever, anything that you want, semantic kernel, any framework. Thiago did the simplest one just to show here that how those things are be running in your local environment, where the model be running, where the MCP servers will be running, and how that can all work locally if you want, or hybrid, something on the cloud, something on locally with Docker offload. So that's the idea for you to understand.
So yeah, the second link that we have shared today is this one from Docker itself. And here you can see that there is different frameworks for build agents. So we have the Crawl.AI, you have the agent development kit, the LangChain, LangGraph, Union, Spring AI, Vercel.
Yeah.
Again, there are more than 50, maybe now 100 frameworks to build your agent.
There's another one coming this week.
Yeah.
Watch the Docker website.
Oh yeah, that. But yeah, so don't worry about much on what is the agent framework that you are using. Use the one that you are more familiar with, the one that you already know, or you want to implement yourself. You know that what you need to do mostly is focus in your prompts and the tools that you are using. But you can run all of this inside Docker. So let me show you the Crawl.AI. Have anyone have heard about Crawl.AI? Crawl.AI? No?
Crew.
Crew. Yeah, Crew.AI.
Don't ask.
Crew?
That's your.
Everybody says there's the best.
Yeah.
No, Crew.AI is the best by far.
He like-
By far, because I like how the structure of the source you can create is really separation of concerns and where you will change. So basically here you just need to change the agent's definitions in a YAML file. And you have here the prompt itself, the definition of what needs to do the goal. You have the input and the tasks. So there is a quite nice way that they structure the framework, right? Because framework in the end of the day is just how you do the architecture, right? But this is a really nice architecture. It's still running in Python. But let's see how is the Docker compose, the compose file here. So the compose file is almost the same thing, right? So here I don't have any comments. You have your agents. It's building your agents in this way using the MCP gateway. And running with if you are running local, you can use the Quant tree model. This one is the other one object called first class MCP gateway. And this, you can also build your own MCP gateway. This MCP gateway in GitHub is open source. So you can change the gateway, how you want to implement that. And in here, you can see that it is using the transport. You can call what server and what tools you're gonna use for that MCP. And in here, you still has more commands that you can pass through for MCP gateway. Like you can restrict your secrets. So it will, if you are using the secret, it will get, when do the run, by default, it will filter your secrets. So you don't go and pass that to the, and down here is just the mode. So you see, it's just 30. In my other example, I didn't have the MCP gateway, so less these 8 lines here. So it's about 15 lines, 20 lines to run agent inside Docker.
Let's run one. Let's try run one.
Yeah.
I have this one here. Which one did I run?
One?
Have a look here. Wanna run that?
Yep.
Sorry. Just Docker compose build or no? No, this up. Okay. Let me move here.
This is probably the.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Let me. Let's back to the basic. That's the basic agent.
I believe it will get in the loop. I'm still.
And at the end of the day, the only thing you have to do it is just so Docker compose up. You're going to get what's going to happen when I do that. You explain now. Oh, permission.
You don't have permission, so you don't
Just
use
internet.
the. No, you are going to. Yeah, you are going to.
Lost
The
my.
Docker is running.
Let's have a look. No. Let me close it up again.
Yeah, Docker, just the Docker socket's not running. Okay, once you run this, it will do exactly what your compose do, right? It will start running your services, and in this case, also the model.
The model or itself?
Yeah, you download the model as well. Yeah, I have downloaded it.
Hang on, hang on.
I have downloaded it. One thing that is interesting, this model, the way that you can run, you can also pick some models from Hugging Face. You can fine tune your model and run inside Docker as well. And what is the goal here? Of course, we are doing local development, but you can also deploy this as a Docker, right? You have many other ways of running containers. Oh, deploy.
Why the port number is 8811?
I believe it's open editor.
I mean, default port maybe?
Yes, the default port. Yeah, that's the default port.
MCP gateway.
For the MCP gateways, yes, it's 88.
If we run another gateway, custom gateway.
Yeah, you can
Yeah,
pass the
so
port.
will the port number be same or?
No, you can set the port. The default one, 8811,
Okay,
but you can set your own port.
in the below section where.
Yes,
you are
yes, you
specifying
can
the-
pass a command, a flag there to set your
Okay.
port, yeah.
There you go. Back on business.
You're back?
Okay,
Model build, you have a context. That is the path where to build the Python script from.
Yes, for the agent, right? Yeah. Not for the model. For the model itself, you are just passing the input.
The application.
examples.
The application has a
Working
context.
directory is the content.
Exactly. So the model itself is first class, so you don't need to pass anything. It's just a model, right? You can consider that as an image, right?
Right.
It's similar as an image. You can pass your own image for model. I believe this one is I forgot the names, if it is GGUC or GGUF. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Oh, it's going. And for sure, I got that really bad. The prompt itself, because this model is not the trigger one, but this is something that I want to share as well, because sometimes your model is not really you don't need to use the Opus to run a simple thing, right? You can use small models, but in sometimes the out of the shelf model, the small one will not work for you. But in another workshop and later on, I want to do fine tuning of this model. Just a lot of fine tuning to use this tool and use the same model, but that will work, because in this case, I believe it will get in a loop. Quite sure. But if we use a little bigger model, it will run fine.
Because not all models, large language models,
can use
are
tools.
compatible with tools. You know, those small ones are some that's not. You have to make sure that the model is already compatible with tools, that they can automatically call the tools like I was talking about. That's the magic. You're not going to use any model in a feature that cannot talk with tools.
Yeah.
And tools are MCP server. I'm talking about the same thing, MCP server tools.
Just a question, it was not running, you changed some setting in resources, right?
Yeah, I'm using Windows. When you install Docker Desktop on Windows, we install using Windows Subsystem for Linux or WSL.
Yeah.
And then if you have multiple distributions of Linux, you have to tell which one can access Docker. Not all can access. Because I did reinstall this morning my Docker Desktop, I had to change the settings again. Because it's not my default distro. That one I'm using the same one. If you don't know WSL, I recommend you like it's pretty much Linux on Windows. And my whole day I work on Linux, but it's Windows. Which one?
So what happens is the model ate in a loop and could not get out of the loop. So what happens is it's not completing, because the prompt itself, it's calling the tool, but the tool is given the time, and if it is in the same context, cannot complete the test. This is a problem with the models. Depends on the size of the model and how you do the prompt. So that's why I was telling before, the art is really doing the correct prompt. and also using the more powerful model for this one.
Yeah.
So in this case here, you see that it is in a loop calling the tool, because maybe the prompt is what time it is, and okay, the time it is now, but the time change every second, right? So it's getting the time again and again and again.
But the important thing is that agents normally like are autonomous. It's something that you want to process. It'll be running there, trying to do something different from the chat ship, GPT or
Yeah.
something that you're talking in hours all the time. It's kind of a back-end, API process that will be running there and trying to do something. Even the agent mode now, Visual Studio Code, there's an agent mode or Copilot or pretty much on GitHub as well, that you delegate your task for that agent, and they keep in looping there, trying to fix until they are satisfied with the solution and they get the output. That's normally you're trying to get the model.
Yeah, I will try to use a bigger model. Maybe the small, maybe it's already enough.
That's a good thing. That the same thing that you have on Docker desktop, you can do on command line as well. You can do using coding. You can do command line. You can do on Docker desktop. Yeah, the code's over there on this code.
Nice, already. Yeah.
The code's there. No, it's a refresh already.
So let me just, I want to show what I'm doing.
Let's move that. You can close Copilot if you want. Okay. Let me push it.
Yeah.
Okay, then. Like that. Here.
So what I will do here, I will just go to the compose file, and I will change it in the LLM here, down there, the model. I will just change what model I'm calling. I'm not calling the Gemma 3. I will call now the.
What do you think you're gonna call this compose API or this one? Or?
No, not this one.
Next one.
I didn't implement that.
Okay.
Maybe just
Okay, each one you're gonna call here.
this one. Just change this model to the one that they use in the clipboard. Just paste.
The clipboard, okay. Okay,
This one.
That's
So I
it?
use this model here.
run again.
Yes, it can place. No, that's fine, that's fine. It's just a suggestion to change.
Okay.
Yeah, let's go Pilot.
So,
And then maybe, I'm not sure,
Yeah.
if you just compose up again.
okay.
Now I changed the model.
When you do Docker Compose app, they look the compose YAML file and they run all those instructions. That's pretty much your whole environment. That's the whole idea here. It's building your development environment with model, MCP servers, your code. You can even debug it. You could debug that Python from VS Code.
Those are changed the agent file.
I'm passing as a variable.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it doesn't decompose. Now it's doing the thing a little different, right?
Because that's how the model works. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Just got
It
Well done.
works.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the timing setting. Should be the same as here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So that works. And you see, this is just change the model, right? I use a model that is a little bigger than the other one. And if you have a sweet spot sometimes. I don't need to use a CloudForce Opus to use these tools. And some tools that you are building in your agents, you don't need to use the biggest model.
I have a few here. So all those things are modeled there.
Yes. So I use the small tree. I believe this is
Yeah.
from Hugging Face. So yeah, I hope you try using this. That one was using the Strands tools, but I have the one using MCP as well. And you can build your agents. What kind of use case do you see for using agents?
Running code.
Sorry? Running code, right? Yeah, you can build a running code. So there are some MCPs like there are MCP for building sandbox Python environments, sandbox, Java, TypeScript environments, that you can just give to the agent a small box to run the code, test, see if it is working, and come back.
That's
So-
the catalog here. That's the catalog of MCP servers.
Oh, yeah. So this is the MCP servers from that it is signed by, curated by Docker. So this is already using Docker as to run, right? No matter what it is, the tool itself, it is already containerized for you to call inside Docker. And you can use that in the Docker MCP gateway. as well.
Yeah, like,
Yes? Sorry? Yes, you can build your own MCP server. It's just that to use inside the Docker MCP gateway, you need to build your own MCP gateway. To where that right now the registry for the MCP in the Docker is just the one that is created by Docker. But if you have your own MCP server and you want to add that as part of the gateway, right? If you can also use the MCP without using the gateway, you can just bypass and only using that. But use the gateway with your own MCP server. You need to build the gateway recipe by yourself. Right? Not from scratch. You can just take from the
and Thiago, that, let's say that's Visual Studio Code with Copilot, but could be any ID that you're using. Normally you have the tools configuration where you have like building tools and you have third-party tools like I was using, GitHub, Python, and each one of those ones, let's say GitHub, pull requests, I get, pull requests or even specific. So each one of those items are like, if you compare with API, it would be like API call, but it's not. And you don't have to call that. You don't have to know how to call that. That's for me, the most important is API development. Every time there's a new version, you have to update your application to call the API. Do you agree? There's a new method on your API. You have to say, front end is now to call that API. You need to change your code. Here, you don't have to change anything. They can update the MCP servers, and your model is going to figure out the change. If there is a new option that's better than before, then maybe we're going to use a new version. When you develop those MCP tools, that's probably they're going to develop now are the MCP tools.
Yeah, the MCP tools.
Probably not going to develop much agents because it will be very simple. Be like just like a workflow, and it'll be maybe probably no code at all. Let's say 100 lines of code we did this one, but very soon will be no code. You're going to define your agent, their workflow in text. My agent, I want to do that. I want my agent to search the internet, look the Wikipedia, try to find this. Next step, do that. You can tell in text how your agent works. That's the feature. But what's left? The MCP servers. The MCP servers are going to tell how this agent, this workflow, what kind of resource or tools they have, to do the job. They can talk with internet, they can talk with GitHub, they can talk with Kubernetes, they can talk with Docker itself, Docker Hub. They can do whatever. It's a huge catalog and just growing. It's like hundreds, becoming thousands of MCP servers available there. And you're going to write one for your company, for your job, to access maybe information from your application, from your system. So let's go in like opposition to what AI was before, the RAG, where you have to get this lot of information on the database, get like this PDF file, give the whole context for the large language model, and they're going to figure out the output. Now you don't need to do that. Like there is an MCP server that have access to that information, and they're going to use those tools there. They're going to find out which one is, because each one has instruction telling how can I use that. So the MCP server is telling the AI, look, I have this expertise here on that MCP server that you can use if you want. If you need that information, it's here. So that's how those things are getting together. It becomes very powerful, very, very powerful. So the good way to learn that is look the thinking on OpenAI or ChatGPT or whatever, you see how the model is thinking. The model say, hey, hang on, I don't have this, I have to find that. And they keep looping until they have all the information that they needed to respond.
Another thing that I feel that it is really interesting with the MCP gateway, or not just this implementation, but other implementation of gateway as well, is that if you give the model 30 tools, 30 MCP servers, and 30 MCP servers, each server with 5 tools, it will consume a lot of your context window for your model. And that is not really powerful, right? You want to give the model just the semantics of what is possible to access to. And that is where the MCP gateway also comes through. Because you can embed in just the meanings of what that tools are doing. And once the model needs that, it can access that tool. So it don't need to get the how to call that tool for the first interaction. It can get how to call that tool when it needed. This is also really powerful because I'm not sure if you have seen.
The tool is not running at all, right?
No, the tool is not running, and not
Anywhere?
even the description of how to use the tool is not necessary
Running.
there in the first prompt. Because what happens is when you use MCP, there is no magic. The MCP have a description of the tool. Have you seen MCP server the back of the MCP server? They have a description of the tool and how to call the tool and how is the JSON file that you needed to send to call that tool. And that information needs to go through your context window.
There you go, the tools there. Like here on the Docker desktop, you can see what Thiago is saying.
Yeah, so
You can open one and look all the tools.
But this is just the definition, right? If this is how you can pass through your model just a few tools, but actually the MCP itself is passing more than this. It's giving the specification on how to call this here, what the parameters are required, what are optional. And that's why if your model is small, it will not be able to use the MCP tool because your prompt is just the first 3 lines saying, oh, do me this and doing that. But after that, you have another 100 lines of just tool definition. And this is not really efficient to use the models. And that's why I believe MCP as well as a gateway is really powerful because you can give more tools to the model without consuming the context window.
Yeah, because that's become a problem. Now I have hundreds and thousands of those MCP servers and tools, and you cannot pass everything to the model and say, use whatever you want. There's 1,000 tools here. No, it's too much.
Yes.
So in the gateway, they have LLM side. Which one to go?
So right now, in this
The
Docker
model-
MCP,
The model that decides.
you have the embedding. You have embedding. You don't need to have a LLM itself in this case.
Gateway don't have that.
Sorry.
In the gateway, how does the gateway decide?
So in this case, the MCP, you are just passing what, the compose. Let me just show the compose file.
Yes, we'll think about.
And the compose file, I believe this is the base one. So in here, I'm passing, what tools I'm making available. So in this case, I'm just setting what tools the server itself, this server specific DuckDuckGo has 2 tools. One is search, another fetch content. But in this case, I'm just passing to this run or for this agent, just the search tool. So in here, you can define what tool you are passing. If you want to pass all tools, you can just pass all tools. The gateway is not exactly filtering the tools for you. You then need to define what tools you want to allow. Okay.
Now, on high level, if that change the way that's called, you don't have to change your code.
Yeah, you don't need to change. But this is really powerful because sometimes if you have used the GitHub MCP has like 90 tools, right?
Yeah.
Like 80 tools. You don't use 80 tools, you use a pull request, commit, and push maybe. So you don't need to pass
Create a
all,
shoe,
yeah,
create a
you don't need to pass all the tools all the time for your agent. And this here is also, let me just run one more time.
Yeah.
Maybe let me run this one. We didn't run this one, right?
What the gateways are doing now is like filtering that for you.
Yeah,
It's
because as I was
not
telling,
trying to access the whole thing.
it
But it's
is-
like
But
security.
it's, in this use case, you wouldn't like you build multiple agents, even though you have a gateway. The gateway just helps to sort of be the central point, or you can't just pass one agent all the other tools you have in your gateway, essentially, right?
You pass the whole tools on the gateway, you know, by you can
Yeah, but
yes.
the mod agents, you wouldn't pass when you define the agent, you wouldn't pass.
Yeah, the tools itself,
Yeah.
but it will depend of the implementation, okay? Because like the one that I show here, the framework called Strands, I'm passing a tool.
Couple of tools.
Yeah,
for
but
that particular agent in this case.
yeah, but in other implementation, sometimes you are passing the endpoint for the MCP, and that will read what tools is available. In this case, we will read the MCP endpoint for this one.
That's why I compare with API gateways, because, you know, when you have your company have a bunch of APIs, and you create that API catalog, and each project or each application has a different subset of APIs that they can access. It'll be the same thing here. You're not going to access the whole thing of Arteiro, you're going to define that subset. And it's probably not going to be on your application, be like the same as API gateway, will be on the MCP gateway. Not just doing the routing for the right MCP server, but also filtering, giving authentication, authorization.
The routing is still in the,
And those MCP gateways are growing, that's all things new, okay? When you talk about MCP routing and gateway, it's all new. There's one for Kubernetes as well, that we can maybe bring here in the next meetup, you know, K agents. So when you talk about gateways, will be authentication, authorization, you know, and filtering these things. That's will be more important. And the routing is the main thing, just following the right one. And you don't have to, all the clients define all that authentication all the time. That's not safe.
So here, it loads the MCP tools. In this case, only got tools listed one. Right? So this is how and here, right now the agent is processing, and now it's making the tool call. When it makes the tool call, it runs the Docker for just that tool call. And after it finishes that container that is running here, this container here, it will stop after, because you are using dash remove, right? So after this run for replying this, it will stop this. So you're not using this server anymore.
so just to confirm, so you also gave to might have different MCP server, but what we configure as part of it, like how many tools we're using, that's where it matters.
Yeah. And there are two implementations, I believe, right? Right now, I didn't get this, but right now, you have the server running. In this case, you see that there is the server .go. It's running as a container, but you can also do the tool running as a container itself, just the tool. So that Docker, .go has both tools. You have a search and you have a fetch container. You can divide that and run in different containers as well.
I think very soon, I mean, months, so, you know, I don't know, maybe tomorrow.
Yeah.
We're going to have from all the major providers, we're going to have gateways. We're going to have model runners as well. Because we're not going to talk with a single model. We're going to talk about multiple models. You're going to have those agents talk with each other. I'm an agent that can do just one thing, be microservice, become microservice style. And they're going to talk with each other. Say, hey, well, I don't know anything about GitHub, talk with this guy. And then they're going to talk with each other. And
This
then
is a really nice one that is the agent-to-agent or agent communication protocol. This one didn't get much traction, but it will be really important. As I told, there are so many frameworks of build agents. And once you have your agent built, you don't want to rebuild another agent, because already it's like apps, right? You don't build all the apps yourself. You use apps of other people. But how you can make your agent communicate with another agent is the challenge that we are facing. I believe soon we are facing this challenge. That's why you have the A2A protocol, that agent-to-agent communication, and you have the agent communication protocol. Both projects started as closed source, one in Google, another in the IBM. But right now, they are both donated to CNCF. So I believe this is a really good standard because inside the CNCF is a consortium of many companies, enterprise, that wants to adopt this, but like Prairie is the best, right? But some people already build a lot in lane graph. Some people are building in strands. But how you will communicate and make these agents work together? So the web apps will become like agent apps, and you need to build your application focus on how you serve for these agents because they are already there. It's not just it's coming, the agents are already there, but the agents to agent communication is the new protocol, and a lot of challenges will become, but challenges, opportunities as well, right?
I never saw, I mean, technology since like 2000, 25 years. I never saw a change in technology like that. Probably when I started was moving away from mainframe. When I started was moving to Java, C++, but that's pretty much rewriting the whole thing, you know, like the way that you're going to talk. 2 years ago, I said, that's not going to happen, but I tell you what's happening. Even if I don't want to happen, but it is happening. And then there's some things coming this week that we know from Docker, even like watch the space because it'll be less code and it'll be more agent to agent talking. They figure out how to make those agents to talk without have to even to tell them how to talk. They just say, you can talk with these and these and these, you know, tools. Up to you, and that thing is going to happen. They're going to decide if they need to talk or not. The agent's going to define it, and everything will be guided by the context, the prompt that you write on the agents to define what they should use. Let's say if you need GitHub, talk with this agent here. They can give you that and that and that, and you describe. Like the model, to be honest, they're not going to change much. I think what's going to change much is what we ask for the models. We're not asking the right way. That's the problem at the moment. We have to give instructions. And those frameworks that we're talking about here, they summarize the context for you. Let's say, if, you know, the conversations become too long. And you notice now, even ChatGPT, they never forget things because they are always running summarize. They compress the conversation. They keep compressing to not losing important information. And you keep going. You can talk with Copilot to any AI for hours now without losing context.
So I'm part of the CNCF security and compliance, what they call adversary group. And I give you this presentation on MCP and A2A cloud security. What are the problems with these protocols? And MCP Gateway just arrived to solve one of these problems in the MCP part. Because these are quite really like, how to say, new things, it's quite difficult to understand how you can defend yourself when the threats are coming. But some threats that are coming, sorry, if it is small, but this is the agent range protocol. And what will happen is you have an agent have a card with description of what the agent is doing and what is the capabilities of that agent. And then you can put it to do workflow of agents. You can have many like agent workers to work together to solve a problem. But this both working together, the MCP plus the A2A, is really powerful to solve a lot of problems. Like one of the examples that I got was like when you are applying for insurance, and you need to fill a lot of information, right? Why you not give these like just upload your files, and an agent will take care of fulfilling that, analyzing if your situation, and then applying for that. And this can be not just one agent, but different agents working together just to fulfill that. So bank, I believe if they are doing a lot for fraud detection, because you have so many transactions, how you can, because what part, the difference of the just LM, because the LM before was just giving you the threshold, right? It gives you the threshold and say, okay, check this alert, check this alert, check this alert. But with agent, this alert can become an action, and it can take action on top of this. So it's a really powerful way of using agents, because it takes care of the signals from the environment, and they are able to take actions. Of course, we still have problems that comes with this, like some threats, especially in the MCP. Prompt injection was already a problem with LLMs, but now you have the two description poisoning. You can allow a MCP server to run, and you get used to run that MCP server. It's similar to supply chain process, right? If that server got compromised and the description of the tools that you are already using and approving your cycle, this can become a problem. So like this one, credential leaks and data destruction. That's a really nice, because the MCP gateway already solving that, right? Could it be a good way to solve? Maybe we will have different ways to solve it, but this is one of the things that we are mapping, and then we are finding solutions to how to solve
And
this.
that's what Docker is working on. It's trying to
Exactly.
solve those problems and making sure that the developer has a production environment that's similar to what's going to be in production. So they're trying to get this MCP gateway to be a production ready, even like a product. The Docker offload to be hybrid, something is running on the cloud, something runs on your computer, to make sure that developer has everything they needed for this new, world that we are creating, to be honest. That can change a lot, but if we don't follow now, it will be harder to follow, in 1 year time, because I tell you, 1 year in AI is probably 5 to 10 years in technology that happened before. The pace and the change
Just a question, the repo you used today for local, you will add a link somewhere because.
Yeah. We
is on the slide there.
on the slides. I will put the slide back here so you can take a
Show
picture.
that lab, show that lab quickly.
Yeah, the lab.
I want to show something very nice that it's probably going to become a product, but Docker, remember that workshop that I said do at home because you have to download? Docker start create something called lab space. It's not on the Docker yet, okay? But it's going to be very soon. I'm going to show you here. Let me see if I can show. That's something that you're not going to see anywhere. You cannot find on the internet. That's just tonight here. I show this very quickly. If you follow this repository here, I'm forking from the guy from Docker. You can now create a whole environment with Visual Studio Code, everything running in containers. You can create your whole environment using containers, okay, or isolated environment that you can use on training. You can use on labs. We like to do labs here on Meetups. This lab today could be an environment like that, could be a lab space where we use a Docker Compose file and you create the whole environment. With the Docker Compose file, it creates the whole environment. If you fork this repository, you can do the same thing yourself. And let me just get let me get here my thing again. Hang on. Have to go on the repository again. Is that? What's the name? Is Web Infra. lab infra. You can see the files there, and you can see a compose file. Okay. Let me just get the instruction properly here.
It is overwriting the environment.
So
Yes.
I'm going to use this. Hang on. Yeah, I'm going to use the original Mike's one. What I have to do, I have to define that. I have to define that content repo URL that points to a repository. Okay, that could be my repository. That's the original repository that I'm pointing out. And then I have to, hang on. And after that, I have just to do a compose on this way here. I will compose the image that I'm going to get, the information that's the lab space up. Okay. And I do a yes that I don't have to do appropriate.
Can you send me the
So
question?
only that.
I cannot see
So
the
I have
question.
all the image already downloaded. Okay, image already downloaded on my machine. You know, probably take a while to download the image. But now they created my environment and it's already running. And they say server is running on port 3030. What I do, I go on my browser. Where's the browser? And I do localhost. And look at this. I have my whole training lab environment. Those instructions here are defined on the repository that you're creating. Let's say I have a lab tomorrow training. I create a new repository. I put that compose file there. I put all that instructions. Okay, it's on the documentation. If you look my repository there, it's explaining how to create that. And they load the Visual Studio here in parallel. So I say, I want to load Visual Studio here. Look at this. That's not the VS Code on my machine. That VS Code is running as a Docker container, completely independent just for this lab. Okay? You can define the extensions that coming out of the box. It's kind of a code space, Microsoft code space on GitHub, or GitHub code space. But that's locally. Everything's running locally here. And the nice thing they did it is you can just open like a terminal. Is a VS Code running here locally. Let's say terminal, new terminal, or have one there. If you do Docker image, they access my host, my machine. It's running on the browser, but they running, they access the Docker desktop instance on my machine.
What happens if you do the same thing again, VS Code?
VS Code is completely different. That's
You run out of
that's not the same. That's completely independent inside that browser on localhost port 3030. So I have, imagine that. I have a lab here. I tell, look, those are the instructions. That's your environment running on your machine. And doesn't touch anything on your machine. I'm not going to break your machine. Not going to install, like JavaScript on your, nothing. It's going to be all running as container. And I can show you where that's running. Sounds crazy, eh?
The sandbox.
There you go.
Containers.
We go in containers. Is that workshop agent or which one is? Last one, eh?
Yeah,
Look at this. Oh, BT. They have a proxy, that's why they do all that proxying, with the local host and what's running on the browser. They have configuration, they do, I think, initialization. And they have the almost space, they have different, which one, I think this one is the VS Code one, I think. One of them is the VS Code. So you have separate containers. There's a Docker compose file with different components that create all that environment there. Okay? And then
specify the folder location to use for this, for persistence.
Then they create volumes.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, you see, if you look volume, They get your repository, they create a volume, a Docker volume, that's like a directory. That's why it's so fast, to be fast as well, because small reports, they do all the magic for you. And another nice thing here is, see those instructions here, if you go on the repository itself, hang on, there you go. I think, yeah, if you go content repo, you see that options here? Look at this. There are options there. 1, 2, 3, 6, 6. Each one of those pages, that's your lab. That's your instructions. They are here. That's the instructions on that mark file, that MD files. So you just build that, create a repository, put the Docker Compose file there, and very soon, I think they're going to put that inside Docker Desktop. So Docker Desktop, they're going to click there and say, create an environment from that repo, and bang, the whole thing will be running locally. You can do the lab, you can do whatever you want. So that's good. Like it? I love that. We used to have something called Docker Play or Play Docker or something many years ago. Huh? Play with Docker, yeah. That everybody used that for a long time, but they took out probably 1 or 1.5 years ago. It was very costly for Docker to, because we start getting like millions of people using that. And but now you can do it yourself. You can run locally your whole lab, your whole environment with VS Code. You can define the extensions you want. So watch that space. They're already using your labs themselves. Docker make money with Docker Desktop, yeah. Like Docker Desktop. That ID that I just showed them. They make money with this thing. They make money with Docker Hub, the repository for your Docker image. Okay. They make money now with Docker Offload. They make money with MCP Gateway. So they create new products, same as Microsoft, AWS. And the thing is, I have implemented, Kubernetes projects and things. The harder part is to do the basics. It's how to get like 50 developers and explain them how to use containers. Because without understanding containers, you cannot do Kubernetes. There's no way. If you don't know how to build an image, if you don't know what's a Docker image, what's a container, you're never going to get on Kubernetes. So Docker Desktop made, make these things very easy. Because how many people be a CLI, command line interface person that can run everything on command line? Maybe 20%, maybe 30%. We want the whole team to be able to do it. And also Docker Desktop kind of brings, enterprise level features. There are features that are only available if you pay the license. And normally those features are for the big companies, for the companies that are going to pay, for us that don't want to pay anything, but yeah, someone has to pay. And then, yeah, if you're using that, make sure that your companies pay something, because there are so many things on Docker Desktop, like say WebAssembly, that everyone's talking about. You can run here as well. Agents, MCP. That's it. If you like it.
Yeah. Okay, one more question? Yep.
So this agent setup and we're setting the models. Yes. If we have to use like AWS Bedrock or something, that models from there. So I just have to change the model or URL and other parameters.
Yeah, instead of calling the models LLM, you pass a parameter for the endpoint and the model itself. Okay, the second, if you go to the Composer for agents, you have some example that you can pass the Composer up plus another Compose file that has the endpoint there, and the logic you handle is in the Docker file to load that. So you do if I have this environment, I can go and load Docker. If not, I use the
Yeah, it's a good code. Like Compose now, not just a single file. You can have multiple files as well.
Okay, so if you have pay attention, this is, I will give another, because there is one question and I believe I didn't talk about it.
You have
So
to do the
just
draw and-
just to give it, because probably it is in the quiz, I'm not sure. But look, what happens is Docker Compose is really powerful and you can run your local, right? But you can also do Docker Compose in the cloud as well. You can run Google run, I believe it's Cloud Run Compose, and you can do in Azure as well. You can do in your Azure in the CLI Compose up with the same file, exactly the same file. Don't need to make any change. That is really, really powerful. That's why it becomes standard, right? Even if today you build your container using another container tools, you still may call that Docker file. So you use a Docker file to create your container. Could be another name, could be, but it's the standards. And this is really nice because once you have the standards, it's much easier to grow at scale. Okay, so let's go for quizzes.
Connect that.
Yeah, I will connect. Okay.
Yeah.
You can stop the Zoom. Yeah, you can just stop.
Close.
Yeah, you can close.
Stickers here.
Okay.
Docker stickers as well.
So I'm going to share the screen. Did you guys connect to the Wi-Fi?
Yeah.
Or you guys prefer use the, before that, I want to really highlight again our sponsors. Okay, thank you for you guys to support. Without our sponsor, we can't make that happen, okay? And also the swag is also from our sponsors. Where is our sponsors? If you guys don't mind, yeah, take a photo. Help us spread the news, okay? Do LinkedIn post, okay? That's the only one thing I want to ask you guys to help, okay? Okay. If anyone want to connect me on LinkedIn, so previously I got a challenges. So because once you hit 30,000 connection, you can't connect. So that's so annoying. So I make an AI agent to help me, okay? If anyone want to connect, now you got the option. So has anyone accessed our landing page? Have you guys noticed any differences? So all of these actually, so my landing page was created by one volunteer. And then recently I just enhanced, make the, the carousel banner. How I make it? I use Amazon Q. Yeah, serious. I'm not kidding. Yeah. I use Amazon Q. I use, Google Gemini. So we also have one of the prices, Amazon Q, $25 credits. If you want to try more. But so far I haven't, used any money yet. So I think Amazon Q does give you lots of the free, options. You can try a lot of stuff. Anyway, if you guys want to connect me on LinkedIn, here is a link tree. You click the link tree, you got lots of surprises again. Okay. So if you click the link tree, anyone do the AWS loaning certification, there are 50% off discount code here. Also, some of the free options, make sure you guys bookmark this page and click the bell icon, you can subscribe. So if you got we got any discovered new loaning certification stuff free or discount, you will get notified. Okay, have a read over all of these, lots of stuff here I put together. Now come back here. So we got a little bit of price. Actually, I forgot. Yeah, let me show you this. Anyone want the special books? It's not me created, okay? It's my own collection, okay? So the author gave me one of the book. What is that? acing the architect, acing the certified Kubernetes administrator. So basically CKA, okay? So just to prove that's my own collection. Okay, the author gave me this. And we got another book, Platform Engineering for Architects. Also one of the authors gave me. Okay, you can see his handwriting. But unfortunately, I forgot to bring the books. Okay. So the books will be the lucky draw for next month. Okay. 1st of August, 1st of October. Now let's come back to the lucky draw. Let's see what the price.
So you only have 3 for that.
Yeah, only primarily. Your more value 3 cold cloud. Anyone don't know what is cold cloud? Think about it. That's the best learning platform for DevOps. Okay, Terraform, Kubernetes, AWS, lots of stuff from there. Okay, if you are not the winner, make sure don't spend the full money. Go our link tree, find the discount. So right now they give like up to 50% off. Okay, I've done enough of selling. Okay, now let's come back to the quiz. Are you guys ready? So basically, you need to answer the question correctly and also fast enough to become the top, to go to the top. Start the quiz. Oh, sorry. Let me. Where is the QR code? I think after you click. Is that after? I think it's after, right? Yeah. I forgot. It's been a long time. I never run this. Okay, now the QR code. So since it's a digital giveaways, so online attendees also qualify if they win the prize, okay, to be fair. Oh, that's great. Only 3 people. All of you guys can win. Oh, no. Come on. Oh, coming up now. We got a 15. More competition. 21, 22. But hopefully it's all easy questions. Yeah, seriously. If you're smart, you know all the questions. Yeah, serious. 27. Last few seconds, we're going to start now. All ready? Cool. The first question. We got 33 participants. I'm not going to read all the questions. You guys should be able to read. Your reading speed is much faster than me. Almost done. Yeah, if you don't know the question, just pick up any one of these. You don't want to miss the chance to guess, right? Okay, that's good. Not too bad. 46%. So next question. Ready? Go. It's about an AI agent. Yeah, only a few seconds to go. Yeah, improving, yeah, 59% correct. Next question. Which Docker component acts as a secure control plane? Okay, in total, we got 35 participate. Who are the leader now? I don't know how to pronounce this. Septi. Is it Septi? Wow, this is amazing. You guys got 91% all correct. So now still Septi is the number one, Enki second, Caroline third. Next question. What is the primary function of a Docker model runner? All right, almost time out. Yeah, looks like the top three, no change. Next question, almost halfway. When orchestrating a multi-agent system with Docker Compose, what can a single compose.yaml file declaratively specify? Is that hard one? Easier. All right. Great. Yeah. Good job. Next one. One of the critical security concern, the MCP ecosystem, which the Docker MCP gateway directly addresses through container isolation restricted privilege is which one? Few more seconds. All right. Number 7. So Docker Model Runner provides seamless API integration for running models locally. With which popular AI API is DMR automatically compatible? Okay, 50% correct. So only 3 more questions. Yeah, it looks like the top 3 is slightly changed. How does Docker facilitate the deployment of AI agent stacks defined in Compose file to production environments in the cloud? Okay, last 2 questions. Yeah, it looks like the first 2, no change. Wow, you guys are amazing. Yeah, 91% correct. Number 9. What fundamental benefit does containerization with Docker provide for AI agent? Allow them to run across different machines and the environment without setup issues? Oh, amazing. Nick jumped to number 2. Congratulations. Yeah. No one can change the number 1. Last question. Yeah, I'm not going to read that. You guys good. Okay, only a few seconds. Amazing. Congratulations to the winners. I want to take a photo with the winners, okay? I need the golden jacket. All right. Yeah, let's see who are the winners. The top winner. Yeah, I need the golden jacket to take the photos with you guys. Don't go away, okay? See, before you guys go, I want to take a group photo, okay? And please help us spread the news, okay? Just tag us on LinkedIn. So all of our LinkedIn page are from the landing page you can find from the KSUG.AI, okay? So it is actually part of the requirements. If you want to win the prize, please, okay? I need you guys to help us to LinkedIn post, okay? Follow me, connect me. So now the first one, the prize, the first winner. So we got the three. I got a 3 Code Cloud. I got a 3 $25 Amazon Q developer voucher, and I got a 2. Well, that's also my own collection. If you guys like a notebook, okay. So the Amazon Q voucher code is here. Let's see who are the first winner. Oh, where? Okay. Yeah, as usual, the first winner, you got the choice. You can choose what prize you want. So the first one is a Sepeti. That's you. Did I pronounce it correctly? Yeah, we want to take a photo. You are okay, okay? Yeah, okay. I take a photo. We take a photo. Yeah. Which prize do you want?
I'll take a code like that.
Code, oh, that's the best choice. Can you help? I don't have anything to hold. Yeah, let's do a photo. Remember, you're on LinkedIn, all right?
I'm not on.
Oh, come on, you can create a LinkedIn. Okay,
Ready? 3, 2, 1. Okay. 3, 2, 1.
congratulations.
Thank you.
We need to capture your details.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
capture.
Yeah.
And the second winner, Nick.
Is that Nick here?
The second winner.
Thank you.
Oh, online. Okay. I can't take a photo with you. Oh, sorry. Is that confirmed?
Which airdrop?
Nick is online, right?
Yeah. Airdrop?
I don't know which one. Yeah.
I think he's online.
No. Let's confirm. Yeah.
The third one?
Oh, congratulations. Yeah, Peter. All right. Oh, yeah. Congratulations. Yeah. So,
How you doing?
which price you like?
What do you have?
We got a Code Cloud if you like. Yeah, that's the best one.
Oh yeah, give me Amazon Q.
Amazon Q. Yeah. That's a good choice as well.
Yeah, okay, we take a photo.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you.
Thanks. All right, the next winner, Ankit. Congratulations. Susan, can you ask Code Cloud? Okay.
So which price you like? Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, please help us to write the link in the box. Let's do a photo. Congratulations.
Yeah, I got that's one person's court card one.
Which one? The next one?
First one,
Who?
first one, I got the details.
Hemantha.
Yeah, first one.
Okay. Who is Hemantha? Hemantha also online. Yeah. Let's see what price he or she, code cloud. So we don't have any code cloud. Okay, the last one, maybe yeah, that one is for yes. Yeah, that's the last one for.
Can I switch code cloud?
No, too late. Yeah, too late, man. Yeah. Okay. Who is Caroline? Next winner, yeah. I don't have anything else. Yeah. Which one you like? Yeah, we're gonna Amazon Q or the notebook.
Amazon Q.
Amazon Q,
Only
yeah.
the code cloud though.
Oh, but it's just for next time you join us again. Yeah, let's do a vote. Don't go away, guys. Yeah, we want to take a group photo. Okay, yeah. You want to swap it to Code Cloud, right?
Yeah.
So someone changed mine as well. Yeah, so that's good. Yeah. Anyone wants the notebook? Nobody. Yes, just grab one. Yeah. Yeah, okay. We also take a photo, all right? Okay, come on. Let's do a photo. Photo your books. Yeah. Thanks, guys. Hey guys, if you guys don't mind, come over here. Let's do a group photo. You need to go. Okay, yeah. Come over here, guys. Let's do a group photo. Yeah. Hey guys, come over here. Hey, give me 1 second. All right. Yeah, for anyone want to get the photos, scan the QR code, you can find the photo. I will upload it shortly, yeah, the group photo, okay? Oh, nice. All right, thank you, yeah. Yeah, please, yeah. Yeah, please tag me. Yeah, I think you're MFC neighbor. Amazon. You have MFC? Yes. You have on your phone. Yeah, you open up the list. So you can read the video. Yeah, you can join you as a volunteer as well. So connect with your link, and there is a volunteer form in the link as well.
Hey, it's me.
Oh, good to see you again. Yeah.
Remember me?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I remember your face, but I can't remember your name. Sorry. Yeah.
Do you know where we met last time?
I think last time you were here, or maybe somewhere else.
It was Shanghai Summit.
Oh, serious?
Yeah, when you get the coffee, right? When you're lining up to get the coffee.
Oh, yes.
And then reaching out to you and
Yes, I remember. But you are in Sydney or here?
I'm just here this week for Japan visa.
Oh.
Yeah, on this Sunday I'll be back.
Oh, good. So you will go back to Shanghai?
Yeah, to continue my internship.
Oh, great. Oh, good to see you here. Yeah.
Yeah, good to see
Oh,
you
thank you
too.
for coming. Yeah.
Yeah, but I can't join the photo because I don't. Yeah, because I don't want them to see that.
Okay. No problem. All right. Hey. Yeah.
You are big of the organization, you went outside.
Oh, not a problem. Yeah. Happy to meet you guys. Thanks for coming. Yeah. Yeah.
So just completing my latest things. I'm just thinking like if I could do some organizations.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. You can join us. We don't need more volunteers to help us. So the link, do you still have the link?
Yeah, I have tried to use the barcode, but
It's not working. Try again. Yeah. Let me show you.
You have.
Yeah. So one of the positions help us out. So it's pretty much that long. There is a separate list of these yeah, lots of yeah.
I think.
I'm not sure. Not province. Oh yeah, that one we haven't enabled. We haven't enabled the HTTPS, but that one is yeah. Try yeah, I need to fix that. If you go to the browser,
Best way is to go the document.
I updated the link, but I haven't made it a good.
Then you can see all the. That's just
Okay. You send me a message about LinkedIn. I will send you the link. I need to fix it. Okay. Thanks for coming. Your name is Arteiro. Okay. Your name is York. Okay. All right.
Yeah. I'll come with you too.
Yeah, yeah, please. All right. Oh, yeah, yeah, please, yeah. All right. Well, thank you. All right. See you later. Hey, buddy. Good to see you. Yeah. Oh, I went to pretty, yeah, quite a bit of, travel. Yeah. It was great. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, it's great. Yeah. I was going to China, so it's kind of like a familiar to me. Yeah. Yeah, I used to do this. Yeah, more people from it's good. Yeah. How about you?
It's very good. So, like, I'm finding out for masters, playing jobs.
Okay.
I sound like applying more than I'm getting the picture.
Oh, keep going. Yeah.
That's what I
Yeah, I know it's a tough situation.
I'm trying to do this application for cloud, so I just like plan to do AWS.
Yeah.
So AWS finds like
The link.
that's where
So I show you the link. Yeah.
you can take the photo of that.
Yeah. No, it's not photo. Yeah. Yeah, lots of information here. You can read it later. One of these link is linkage. I put all of the loading certification stuff here. So AWS, we just announced it. I'm not quite sure if the free one is still available. If free will not available, yeah, 50% off. Also, it's fine. Yeah, yeah. Try that. Yeah. You follow the instructions. I just shared the instructions. Yeah. Yeah. So the idea is it requires someone knowing linking. You've got to change the request to free. So Google also has some.
Follow the procedure.
Yeah, we follow the procedure. Yeah. All this stuff I'm keeping updated. Yeah. So that's where I was saying there is if I add something new, it will be pop up too. Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you. I'll try to find out. Take my
Yeah. Oh, good one.
I'm trying to monitor, so yeah, so this is.
Yeah, also there is a link.
I have to photo of that.
Okay, okay. Cool.
Yeah,
All right.
next day, yeah.
See you later. Yeah. I forgot your name. I tried to tag you on LinkedIn. I only remember Kate， 但是好像你的 LinkedIn 不是一直出还找不着，是出吗？还是？哇，哦，你 LinkedIn 是什么？MA， 哦，是这个吗？哦，重点。
台湾
哦，
都会用的。
哦，可以，我 follow back。 要 send me connection 可以在这个里，因为那个里面没满对，你是 NFC 有吗？有就 tap 一下，它会有一个链接，不需要填码。有没有收到啊？对，然后当中有一个链接。这个是我们的网站，然后就我们的东西都放在我的 LinkedIn 在这里，这个可以可能。中文叫什么？叫漫华，出漫华。
算子的慢，
哦。
中华文。
好感谢你。
会，谢谢你给我。
哦，没事啦，这个需要更多的人帮忙支持。哎呀，帮我们拍照也好，帮我们做 LinkedIn post 的，帮我们 react LinkedIn post 都可以的。看你有时间想帮忙都可以的。我们每个月安排一次，一个就是对。可以啊。Yeah, very good. Post August, October. Yeah, next month. Every month, first Wednesday. Yeah. They are AWS. I believe they do the last week. Every month, last week. Yes. They have here.
Oh,
We're doing every month.
oh, I thought like Monday, Friday.
So only once.
How's your experience?
Oh, it's good. Yeah, it's good. Yeah, I love it. Yeah.